Okay, this is a Redux review because I already reviewed Quantum of Solace and I have a lot of James Bond films to get through. I've seen every single movie, but I have to review every single one. And I don't think I was fair the first time I reviewed Quantum of Solace. Actually, that's not true. I was fair. I gave it a poor rating, and I stick by that. I've seen people go up with this movie. They've gone up on their ratings, and I disagree. I have had moments where I say I don't really think I agree with this review, and this is one of those cases. Thing with Quantum of Solace that isn't very great is just the way it's shot. This was directed by Mark Forster. It was completed without a finished script, so that tells you a lot. It tells you that they didn't have dialogue going in, they didn't have a finished villain, they didn't have a finished story. And Daniel Craig and the director had to rewrite that all. And I mean, that's not their job. One of their jobs is to act, to star in the film, and Craig does an amazing job at that. He's great as Bond, as he always is. And Mark Forster is supposed to direct, and while he does make some creative choices, not all of them, mostly, um, not all of them are there. There's just a lot of weird shots in this film. It has a very interesting editing choice. There's um, much faster pace than the speed of most Bond films. I think Skyfall and Spectre and Casino Royale have been more fast paced just because since the 2000s they've picked up. Even the Brosnan ones were. But Quantum of Solace is fast paced and it's really quickly cut and edited. It's almost indisputable from every action film out there with the amount of fast cuts and just edits there are. It's very hectic. It feels like you're watching a Jason Bourne movie or you're watching a action film because they never give you any time to breathe. You're constantly moving from one set to the next. This is very un-Bond like. Bond is very slow, very methodical. Even the recent great movies like Skyfall and the lackluster Spectre still had some really sweeping cinematography with this encompassing shots, and that still moved Spectre. But Quantum of Solace just moves so fucking fast. It's impossible to tell what's happening. There's a scene at Tosca, if that's how I'm even saying it. I don't know if I'm saying it right, where they're at an opera house and things are just flying around. I had no idea what the fuck is happening. There's a scene in the kitchen where Bond starts shooting people, and then it cuts to the opera, and the noise from the opera is playing over the kitchen fight, and it's so confusing, and it really takes you out of the film. Excuse me. In fact, I thought that, I mean, the movie's killing me right now. I thought that the movie was just so confusing, and I won't lie, it's not a movie that I sit there watching just angered by. I am not a person like that. I would be surprised if a person watched a movie, that had fun parts, because this has fun parts. It's fun. It's just not Bond like. I'd be surprised if someone saw this and just didn't get anything out of it. I got a lot out of it, and I want to talk about that. And that's really just how to make a good Bond film, because this is enjoyable at parts. Mark Forster just decided to go with a really bland, really clean film, and in doing clean, he kind of wiped away what makes Bond Bond. I mean, the villain in this is just so. I see why people don't like Matthew Almeric as Dominic Green. I didn't exactly have a problem with him. I'm trying to be honest. I really didn't. I thought, why not make a Bond villain just a guy who operates out of a shipping yard, just some, asshole psychopath businessman? That's really what a Bond villain would be. I mean, it wouldn't be some over the top scarred figure. And it's really fun when they are, the Blofeld or, Strowman or, just if you're one of these classic Bond villains. Silva's a great recent one. But Green is clearly, I can tell why people were disappointed. I just think that it did feel real, and that's not a problem I had with the movie. Problem I did have is with the Bond girl, because she is just absolutely boring. She is not a bad actress. Martin McDonagh completely revived Olga Kurilenko. I butchered her name. Kurilenko? He butchered her in this film, and then McDonagh revived her in Seventh Psychopaths because she appeared in that film, and in this she just has very little to do, even though she's a Bond girl. and she just has a sad backstory to give after her and Bond end up stranded in a cave. It's just so tight, this film, but it feels very shoddy and it feels very very sped up and not not clean compared to the other Bonds, and that's a problem with it. I wish that Camille, the Bond girl, was just more fun and had more energy to her. She matches up with Craig's kind of broodiness, but that's why Leah Seydoux was a much better replacement, much better chemistry there. So overall, Quantum of Solace is just a really dull kind of film. Yeah, it's not my thing, and I really wish that they did a better version of it because I like this type of editing at times too. If it's done right, it just was not done right, and it was awful. So Quantum of Solace was a disappointment, but it's still enjoyable. Like I still enjoyed watching the film. I just really wish they had edited better. They had gotten some greater scenes because this was an hour and 46 minutes, and I could actually tell what was happening. Maybe I would have liked it.